Monday night game of the year and the debut of our new broadcast team as we say hello to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, an exciting time for us here in the booth. No doubt we are ready to rock as we get a look at FedEx Field just outside of our nation's capital. Tonight, we'll have the final two games of this kickoff weekend, and we begin with a great one here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Redskins. And, partner, these two teams both in the playoffs a year ago. Steelers got in at 10-6. Washington just in at 9-7, winning the NFC East.
I would say that Pittsburgh actually overachieved last year, had a terrific season just to get to the playoffs. They expect to go a little bit farther this season. When you look at Washington, I would call them a major surprise team. Most people thought they would finish last in their division. They won it. Now they have higher expectations.
Now it's Chris Thompson on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a guy who, of course, started all 16 games last year, led the Redskins to the playoffs. He's in his 5th year now for Michigan State. It's Kirk Cousins.
And it's his team. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Remember, he had a pitched battle with Robert Griffin III. And head coach Jay Gruden selected Kirk Cousins. I felt like he trusted him more. Thought he was more consistent. That was his guy. He made a big move in that direction, and Kirk Cousins rewarded his faith.
This offense, here are the starters. It features a very speedy wide receiver, a Duke Blue Devil, Jamison Crowder.
Exactly right, and we're not talking about hoops. We're talking about a slot receiver who knows how to run all the routes so well and really is crafty beyond his years.
Now the first NFL carry for the rookie, Rob Kelly. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them.
Surveying the field. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time, and that brings up 4th down. Now on 4th down, the 2014 NFL leader as a rookie in yards per punt, Tress Way on to kick it. This is fielded at the 7. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And when you talk about the best quarterbacks in the NFL, you have to talk about Ben Roethlisberger. And he's used to competition. Remember the class he came out of in 2004 with Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers also available.
How many do you think envisioned the greatness of that class at the time?
I don't think to the levels that we've seen. Potential, no doubt. But how many Super Bowls collectively have these guys won?
Goes underneath for Bell. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
This offense has some speed, and certainly Martavis Bryant, he has some speed.
He has that, and he has size. That's what makes him so difficult to cover, because just when you think you have to play him one way, the other attribute kicks in. Martavis Bryant could be an all-star real soon.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Out left side here to Bryant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And now a look at the Washington defense.
Trent Murphy's #1 attribute is playing against the run, but he continues to work hard on his pass rush skills.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Again, it's Bell. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Bashaud Breeland, the one that got him down.
I go all the way back to college with Le'Veon Bell. One of the better body transformations I've seen, from a big, thick power back to the guy we see now who can do everything.
And 2 years ago, of course, last year the injury, but 2 years ago over 1,300 yards. I think they think he can top that this year.
I don't think there's any question about it.
Man open right side. It's Rodgers. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep for the Redskins, Jamison Crowder. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease it.
And he coughed it up. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give him a rest. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, 14 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. I think the Steeler fans are happy to have Le'Veon Bell back in the end zone after that ACL injury last year.
No doubt about it. You know who else is really happy? The big guys up front, his offensive line. Because when you have a back like Le'Veon Bell that's piling up yardage, guess who else gets credit? The guys up front creating space. They need that guy to validate what they do up front, and he validates it in a big way. Love what he's done since leaving Michigan State and really taking the NFL by storm.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you.
One of the new year, we'll be back. They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Cousins, deep drop, and the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 11. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. We get a glance at the Redskins defense as they go back out there now. And it's the first quarter, but they gave up the score last time. How important is it here not to fall 2 scores behind?
Extremely important, because not only are you trying to avoid being in a big deficit to start this game off, you also want to get into a pattern where that offense has the advantage. You've got to find a way to turn things around, the guys up front, because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And he's got the AFC leader in receiving yards last year, Antonio Brown. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call it.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw. But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Trent Murphy, the one to bring him down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
2nd down following the run. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And it's complete to Ladarius Green. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he would
under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this 1st quarter. So we played a quarter here on the opening Monday night of the new season. 7-0 is our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by...
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made there by Mason Foster.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third. Now Ben on third and long. And that is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's fourth down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week 1 to see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. The Steelers defense getting ready here. They're just looking to duplicate what they did last time, force the 3 and out, and that led to a field goal.
The only thing better, really, is creating a turnover. 3 and out, get off the field, feel good about yourself, turn the ball over to your offense, and they put the ball through the post with a field goal.
They're probably pretty well rested after that 3 and out, too.
One would think. That's how you get it done. Create the 3 and outs, get to the bench, get your rest, and hope your offense can control the game.
They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
Third and long for Cousins. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be fourth down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for Washington. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And caught, right side, Green. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So this was a case of better safe than sorry. All the receivers were locked up, so he had to try and run for it, but he ended up having to slide short of the marker.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. Boy, a curious This decision to go for it doesn't pan out, and the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that. Now, that was kind of interesting. It appears this coaching staff really trusts this rookie early in his career. They want to get him a touchdown here in his NFL debut.
He'll come out in the pistol. Second down, Cousins. Finding time. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. That's caught at the 3. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. They come up with one running back. That's Bell.
Easy.
And he'll get it up the middle. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
This is Bell, and he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. He took the hit when he threw that ball. Maybe the O-line just thankful that that worked out for a touchdown.
Yeah, because, you know, their pride is don't let that guy get hit, no matter what, under any circumstances. But anytime it pays off in a touchdown, they'll figure out how to block a little bit better going forward.
Boswell for the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. And that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could take that one for
I don't know about that.
so bad.
I don't know about that.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost, but taking it right down Broadway. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that came. Can go wrong, has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Hey, got tight left, tight his left. 3 down. Let's go! Blue 90!
Cousins on first down. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Joe Hayden, with it. And they'll take over. Inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do defense to knock the ball away.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trent Murphy. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. He's got time. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Well, this is brought in by Pryor. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Cousins now on second down. Pryor has it complete. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Fresh set of downs here. First down, here's Cousins. This one caught by Crowder. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So 2 first-half field goals now for a guy who, and you hate to give him the tag a journeyman, but it's fair to say, Charles, he's been around in his career.
Yeah, it's more have leg will travel for him. He is a guy that's bounced around a bit, but he can still stroke him when called upon, just as he did right there.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Redskins trail right now, but with another half to play, there's time to turn it around. The Steelers deserve to be ahead, but will need to put together another strong half. All right, let's roll those highlights. Following the forced fumble, Bell's going to look for a gap, and he'll go for the score. That puts them up by a touchdown. Steelers on 2nd and 7. The quick pass, it's complete, and it's caught for the score. The lead now at 14. Down to late in the first half. It's a sack and a fumble here. Steelers will pick up the loose football and score. The Steelers up now by 21.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Redskin defense. They get set for this next possession. They're losing here as we begin the third quarter, trying to stop this from being a bigger deficit.
I used to play for a coach who always talked about getting the other team's attention. And in this case, They want to let them know that you're going to do the dictating from here on out, not the other way around.
Trying to impose their will as we start the third. A big play there out of the running game. 31 yards. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And they're going to speed things up here. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have it.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Fitzgerald Toussaint, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
The drive Summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Let's go! Green 39!
They'll go again with Kelly. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Pulled in at the 24. Oh, what a move. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball
leader, right?
to make a big play.
Yeah.
Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I'm not sure how many people anticipated Le'Veon Bell being such a huge part of the passing offense when he came out of Michigan State. Remember how thick he was? A big, bulkier runner? Slimmed down since he got to the NFL, and that increased all aspects of his game.
Yeah, because 2 years ago, he caught 83 passes. Last year, 24, but then he had the injury. You got to think they're going to continue to get him more involved like they did there.
I don't think there's any question about it. He is an absolute game breaker with the ball in his hands. Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. A chance for us again to look at this Pittsburgh defense. They have a little something to build off of from last time with a 3-and-out.
And what they have to build off of? Great confidence right now. Being able to stuff someone on a 3-and-out. You feel like you're in control now. You're doing the dictating. They want to see if that can continue as this game progresses.
Will it continue? We'll see. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Second down now after the pass completion. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They run with it. It's Kelly. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing is Cousins. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Joe Hayden with it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
I'm I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good. You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Stevie Johnson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Second down following the incompletion. On second down, Roethlisberger. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Stevie Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away.
Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Boswell for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Second down, Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, 69 yards. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This one taken from the 7. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here.
Advantage. Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Let's go. Blue 58.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he finds McDonald.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Redskins will take possession with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Let's go! Blue Lightning!
They'll hand it off to Kelly. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
He finds his target. It's Crowder.
Offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. A long way to go here for the offense on 3rd down after the penalty. 3rd and 15.
All right, here we go. Blue Lightning!
3rd and long for Cousins. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Fielded at about the 28. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Here we go!
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Let's go! Blue 58!
Now this time he'll look to throw. A dump off to Toussaint. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling. Held it to an okay gain.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Let's go!
They run. This is Tucson. And past the 30 down to about the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Let's go!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And it's 3rd and short. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end, and it's 4th down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Boswell has this one going left, no good. He missed it left, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Cousins now. And Reed with it over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
This is Kellen, and he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Let's go!
Cousins now to throw on first down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. There he goes, right side. Picked off. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Joe Hayden with it. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time.
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Cousins now from the 50. Caught on the right side. Reed. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Cousins now on second down. Ducks him with a grab over the middle. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start. Offense.
Here a touch on 2nd and 11. Again, it's Cousins. One tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Dustin Hopkins now for the Redskins field goal. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to be a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down.
Let's go. 58.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left and avoids the contact by sliding.
Holding offense.
Here's Jordan Berry now, standing right around the midfield stripe. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
A give. This is Kelly. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
3-19.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He's got time in the pocket. Jordan Reed has it. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Cousins on 1st down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they'll be in search of 11 yards here on 3rd down.
3 down. Set. 3-19.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Not a big deal on that one. Just your everyday 67-yard punt. And possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, standing just outside his own goal line.
That was a terrific job by the defense, stopping them on 3rd and short.
Now heavy Redskin pressure, and they block it. This is gathered inside the 5. But we say it all the time, offense, defense, don't forget about special teams. Big punt block there.
And how many coaches have told us if we make a big play on special teams, if we find a way to score, whether it's on the play.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed from 3 yards out. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. They start on the ground with Toussaint. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Second down following the run. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Pittsburgh, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Washington, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Washington, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.